where accuracy starts in bench rest is with your Lapua 220 Russian case. And a lot of people overlook some of the fine details of the preparing of the case. The biggest thing that I see and I hear from people that have bench rest rifles that aren't performing well or spitting shots is really the turning the case neck to the proper dimension. You know, there's a lot of information, both the internet and within the shooting community, but the real acid test is how your rifle shoots on paper. And a lot of the theories on the internet and ideas as far as tight fitting and close tolerance, in the real world of bench rest, they don't play well for accuracy. And let me expand on that. When I first started my bench rest shooting, and I'm not a machinist, and I was turning my case necks, I had a 262 neck chamber in my PPC. I thought I was turning my case necks to 8.5. And that was kind of the mindset for a lot of people in recommending how thick that brass should be, so you have about 1.5 thou of clearance. Well, after seeing some of my shots spitting around, I had a friend of mine, he was a gunsmith and a master machinist, Charlie D'Alessandro, who lived in Orrville, Ohio. Charlie was kind enough to take a tube mic of his and start measuring my brass. And he asked me, you know, what did you think your case necks were? I said, well, I was trying to turn them to 8.5 thickness. He says, well, they're about 8.8 or 8.9. They're a little bit too thick to perform well. And after a little bit of guidance from Charlie, I realized that I was like a gorilla with all thumbs with a tube mic. And that's a big problem today, that unless you're spending a lot of time and have experience with the tube mic to accurately measure your case necks, you really have to be cognizant of taking a bullet that you're using, seating it in a case to where you're measuring the outside of the neck. That's the acid test. That's really the only thing that matters. But you have to make sure that you have adequate clearance. And so many times people will call and say their rifles aren't shooting well, and you know, we'll get into discussion of really what are you turning your case necks to, and really what are they actually truly measuring. And a lot of times that's two different numbers. And there's a lot of great guns out there that people are just making their brass just a little bit too thick in the neck, and what that's doing, it's causing an inconsistent release. And it's impacting the ignition. And ignition is king. Just like in rimfire, it's the same thing in bench rest and center fire. Consistency and ignition is everything. And there was a Hall of Fame shooter, Bill Forrester, lived in Kentucky, and Bill was kind enough to help me. And when I first started, again, I thought maybe an 8.5 neck was great, but Bill was always kind of chiding me that if you turn your cases a little bit thinner to give more clearance, cut thin to win. And Bill had suggested to me that instead of using the 8.5 neck for my 262, turn some case necks that are 8.1 or 8.2. And we went back and forth. He said, just try it sometime at 200 yards when the conditions are honest and you've got a good crosswind. And he was right that I could definitely see, and I've proven it to people, the case necks that had a little bit more clearance than maybe what the internet is telling or educating people, the more clearance, the better your rifle will shoot. Now, certainly there's a point of diminishing returns where you have way too much clearance, but you certainly want to have what I would recommend 2.5 to 3 thousandths clearance. And let's remember how small a thousandths is. I mean, a thousandths is literally nothing. So having 2.5 to 3 thousandths of clearance is a small ask, and it does mean the world to your rifle and how well it shoots. You may not win a lot with the tighter necks, but I guarantee you with too close of a fitting neck, you're going to have a hard time being consistently successful. So first thing, the takeaway is make sure you're turning your case necks thin enough. On a 262 neck, I would recommend being at 8.1 or 8.2 thickness. 263 neck, I like to be at an 8.7 or 8.8. There's been a real popularity lately with people going to thicker necks. It makes it a little bit easier to turn case necks quicker, which I absolutely love. And with like a 268 neck, that's what I'm currently using. I turn my cases down to 11.2, so just over 11 thousandths on each side. Again, you want proper clearance. And before you do anything, you always want to take a dummy round that you made up with a case without your fire control in the rifle, and certainly, unloaded, and seat a bullet and measure that diameter. And again, just being very pragmatic for safety's sake. It never hurts to double check your work before you start to fire form.